And we back. Y'all know what time it is, baby. The All-Star Reserves were just announced about an hour or two ago, and this is like the latest I've ever uploaded on this channel, but I had to get my thoughts out. Y'all wanted them, so here we go, okay? So at 6 o'clock, the All-Star Game players' reserves were supposed to be announced, but Shams is just everywhere. He just knew. Here, sources tell me these are reserves. Have fun, NBA Twitter, and you debate each other all night long, and that's exactly what's happening. So I didn't have to watch TNT. And actually, man, it's been so hard to watch those shows right now, and we're all still grieving and stuff. And I'd rather read the tweet. So shout out to Shams for that. So leave a like on the video. You may disagree with some of the stuff I say. That's fine. You know, there's always going to be disagreements, because if there wasn't disagreements, then there is no snubs. There is no all of the other stuff. So hopefully we can agree to disagree, and we just go on with life, and you can still watch the videos. You know what I'm saying? So leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and let's go talk about reserves. So in the Eastern Conference, we have Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, Ben Simmons, Chris Middleton, Jason Tatum, Bam Adebayo, and Domantas Sabonis. In the Western Conference, we have Dame, Donovan Mitchell, Jokic, Rudy Gobert, Brandon Ingram, Russell Westbrook, and Chris Paul. All right, so we'll start off with the Eastern. You know what? Let me just start off with the thing I need to be changed. Here it is. We got to the point now where it's no longer East versus West. We got two team captains, and there's a recess pick. You know, LeBron get first pick, Giannis get second pick, and they go back and forth, back and forth. So there's no East versus West. So tell me why there's still an East-West reserve spot. Now, I know why. I know the real reason why, but it still doesn't make sense. The reason why is because they want every single fan to somehow be invested, and if your team is not even in the hunt for an all-star, why would you care? Because in reality, let's be realistic, the Western Conference has so many more deserving players for the All-Star game than the Eastern Conference. I can name 3 snubs that are probably better than 2 players on the Eastern Conference roster, and that's just reality. That's just reality. So I would love to get to the point where it doesn't matter what conference you're in. If you're one of the best players in the NBA, you are an all-star. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter position either. If we have a team full of 12 guards, so be it. We had 12 good guards this year, not that many forwards or centers. So that's my biggest disagreement with everything. But for the most part, I believe that the coaches did a pretty decent job. It's one big thing that is blowing my mind. Blowing my mind. But let's talk about the Eastern Conference first. Jimmy Butler, we knew he was a lock. A lot of people want to see him be a starter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're a starter or reserve, because your resume is going to say all-star. Kyle Lowry, for me, he was a lock, but I did see a lot of people in my mentions saying that he didn't deserve to be there, that players statistically were better as far as points per game, assists, yada, yada. That's not how it works, y'all. My case for Kyle Lowry being an all-star, first of all, the Raptors are just as good this year as they were last year without Kawhi Leonard, and a lot of it is due, of course, to Pascal Siakam taking a jump, but also this team has dealt with so many injuries. Pascal got injured, OG got injured, Mark, Serge, Norm Powell, the list goes on and on. This team has dealt with so many injuries, and the one consistent thing is Kyle Lowry. He's one of those guys that the box score doesn't show his overall impact, whether it be on the ground for loose balls, hockey assists. There's so many things Kyle Lowry does on the basketball court that puts him in the all-star conversations every single year. It's reality. And I understand that a lot of people don't see that, because if you're not watching the Raptors, you just see the box score, and the box score doesn't show that. But as a guy, for my job, shout out to HOH for giving me league pass, I can watch every single game, and I see without a doubt he deserves to be an all-star. Ben Simmons. He's a guy that maybe a month and a half ago you were questioning whether he deserved to be an all-star, but Joel Embiid missed that time, and when Joel Embiid missed that time, Ben Simmons turned it up, where he was the best player on the court game after game after game. I mean, it's so weird to think about, but if you put shooters around Ben Simmons, he excels. So he deserves to be there. Chris Middleton is 50, 40, 90 club, and he's putting up better numbers this year than last year, and last year he was an all-star, and he's playing less minutes. Yeah, he just had that 51-point game a few nights ago. Not to mention, he's on the best team in the NBA at this point of the season. Jason Tatum, first-time All-Star here. Shout out to him. Taking the next jump. We were wondering when he was going to get his first official All-Star appearance, and this is the year. I'm sure he was actually battling out with his teammate Jaylen Brown for that spot, but ended up being Jason Tatum. In my eyes, I think that was the better pick. Bam Adebayo, another first-time All-Star. We got a lot of those this year. Bam Adebayo is such a good player. Last year, he was averaging like 25 minutes a game or so, because he was playing, sharing minutes with Hassan Whiteside, who they were trying to keep healthy. They ship out Hassan Whiteside, and they say, Bam, not only are we going to have you starting, We want you running our offense. Yeah, we want you playmaking. We want you using all the gifts you have. And he's done that, and he's excelled at it. The Heat are a very good team, surprising a lot of people around the league, and that is due to him, Jimmy Butler, and all the whole cast, but those two guys at the top. Then we have Domantas Sabonis. Okay, let me tell you how this works. The starters, because people are saying this, the starters are voted by the fans, you guys who put your votes in, the media, and then lastly, the players. And then the reserves are picked by the coaches. Now think about the way a coach would think. What is a coach's job? To win basketball games. So in their eyes, the all-stars, the best players in the league, are players that are putting up numbers on winning teams. Last year, every team that was in the playoff hunt at the All-Star break had at least one All-Star. This year, it's very, very close. It's very, very close. The Magic don't have an All-Star this year, and the Nets don't have an All-Star because Kyrie has been injured. But every other team in the Eastern Conference that is in the playoffs has an All-Star. You got to think about the Indiana Pacers missed Victor Oladipo for this entire season other than last night, and they have continuously been one of the best teams in the league, in the Eastern Conference, and that is because Domantas Sabonis took the next jump, and Malcolm Brogdon has been so good for them this entire season. So Domantas Sabonis, I had him on my ballot as well. But the snubs from the Eastern Conference, what I keep seeing in my mentions is Zach LaVine, Bradley Beal. I saw Derrick Rose a bunch. I saw Drummond's name, who just, I guess he puts up good stats. But those are the 4 snubs. But again, think about the way the coaches think. Bradley Beal, though he's having an amazing year, his team is not even close. They're not a playoff team. The Bulls are the 9th seed right now, but they're like 2.5 games behind, and they've been a disappointment. Derrick Rose's team is not very good. Drummond's team is not very good. So for the coaches, they're going to reward the winning players. I'm not saying that's the best way. I'm just telling you what they think. And they think that these guys that they have in reserves deserve to be there because all of them, literally every one of their reserves right here, are on a winning team. Would it have been cool to see Zach LaVine or Bradley Beal back in the All-Star game? For me, 100%. Baby, we're in Chicago this year. I would love to see Zach LaVine. But I understand the mindset of the coaches, even if I don't necessarily agree with it. But the Western Conference. Oh, the Western Conference. Damian Lillard, he's putting up great numbers again this year. Unfortunately for him, his team has been hit with the injury bug. Like Yusuf Nurkic, of course, has been out. Zach Collins, Kim Bazemore before they traded him away. Rodney Hood is out for the season. CJ missing time. Like, there's a team that was in the Western Conference Finals last year. The reason why they're not in the playoffs right now is because they cannot get healthy. But one thing has been consistent, and that has been Damian Lillard. I mean, he just averaged 53 points per game last week. 53 points per game. So 100%. See, again, you got to think about it from the coach's mindset. Like, be on a winning team. And if you're not on a winning team, you better have a legacy. You better have a good reputation. And that's Damian Lillard. Then we have Donovan Mitchell, first-time All-Star. Again, the Utah Jazz was just like the hottest team in the NBA, except for this week they lost to the Spurs, and then before that they lost to the Houston Rockets. When the Rockets didn't have Clint Capella, they didn't have James Harden or Russell Westbrook. One of the worst losses of the season, Utah. I'm just telling you, one of the worst losses of the season. But regardless, Donovan Mitchell has consistently been a very good player. I mean, his numbers look very similar to last year, but this year they're towards the top around this time because this is a team that always starts off pretty slow and then eventually gets it together. Jokic, I don't need to give you the case for Jokic. They've always, at least for the past few seasons, have been one of the top seeds in Western Conference, and that's because of Jokic. He played himself into shape after in November. He wasn't very good. Since that, he's been great. Rudy Gobert, first-time All-Star. This is one that a lot of people are questioning, and it makes sense because if you're not watching Utah Jazz games, you can, again, only see the box score and see that, oh, he put up 20 and 16 with 2 blocks. Those are good numbers, but is it all-star numbers? Let me give you the reason why he's an all-star this year. Impact-wise, Rudy Gobert is amazing. And you know that he is my favorite center in the league for that exact reason. There's a reason he's a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. Even without him being a top-of-the-line shot blocker this year, he's still in the running to win his 3rd Defensive Player of the Year because teams are afraid to go to the paint when he's down there. A lot of teams are, except for Eric Gordon the other night. Eric Gordon was just going right at him like he was nothing. But a lot of teams are afraid to go at him when he's down there because they know how good he is defensively. And again, they were the hottest team in basketball just a week ago, so timing does matter. Timing does matter a lot with these coaches. Brandon Ingram, Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram is a guy that's number one in my list for most improved player. He's the only guy on this list that is a part of a losing team at the moment. But he has the individual stats or like, yes, he's a part of a losing team, but the Pelicans still have hope to end up in the playoffs because, again, they just got Zion back a week and a half ago. Drew Holiday just came back, and eventually maybe they will gel and then they'll be a playoff team. I mean, a lot of things have to fall their way for them to make that happen. But Brandon Ingram taking that jump, I really love it. Then we have Russell Westbrook, who, again, timing does matter. He may not have started off the season great, but lately he had his big backpack on because James Harden hasn't been good. And one of my biggest criticisms with Russell Westbrook throughout the years is that, like, other than his one MVP season, I don't like him taking threes. He's never been good at it. Other than his MVP season, which is like a crazy season for him, he's always been a below average three-point shooter. But recently, something got in his brain, whether it's been a coach or something, where he's just like, full head of steam, I'm going to get to the rim, and you're going to either have to foul me or I'm finishing at the rim. And since he's done that, he has been incredible for his team. I hope for their sake that he can continue to be incredible, and then James Harden can play himself back into good. Because right now it seems like, is this a Russell Westbrook game or is this going to be a James Harden game? Rarely this season have they been together and both played amazing. And then we have Chris Paul. Again, it's about winning. This OKC team has been down by 20 points like 5 times this season, and they won 4 out of those 5 games. And a lot of that is spearheaded by Chris Paul being like, okay, let me get this going, and then him making the big time shots to give them the win, like the one against my Chicago Bulls. But my biggest thing is Devin Booker not being here. Yeah. When we look back on this, I think we're going to agree in 10 years that this year of no Devin Booker is going to be the biggest snub in NBA All-Star history. I said it. The biggest snub in NBA All-Star history right here. His numbers, individual numbers, are ridiculous. He is ridiculously efficient this year. And his team has more wins this year than they had all of last year, and they're still in the playoff hunt. Like, his numbers versus Brandon Ingram numbers, his numbers look better, and his team is 1 game better. He deserves to be there. I don't know who I'm taking out. Some people are saying take out Chris Paul. Sure, you can do that. Some people are saying take out Brandon Ingram for that exact reason. Like, his numbers look better than Brandon Ingram. Plus, his team is winning more than Brandon Ingram. Or some people, like Samuel down here, says take out Russell Westbrook. He says Westbrook making it over Booker is an absolute travesty. With Curry and Klay coming back next season, this might have been Booker's best chance for the next several years, and he's going to miss out because coaches still want to pretend that Russell Westbrook is good. Unbelievable. Now, I wouldn't go that far to say Russell Westbrook's not good, but the point about Steph and Klay being back next year is crazy, because unless Devin Booker somehow has the Suns as the 1, 2 seed, 3 seed, he's probably not going to be an all-star next year. And that's so sad, because he 100% deserves it this year. If I was him, I turn down every 3-point competition thing if they try to throw it his way again, because the coaches don't respect him as a player. They don't. Either way, in 3 weeks, nobody's going to be talking about the All-Star snubs anymore, or All-Stars at all, because that's just the way it goes. It's just a hot topic when it's actually released. That's pretty much it, y'all. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave it a like. I'm excited for it. Chicago is here, so I'm going to be there. We're going to be working. And actually, for all of my Chicago fans, hit me up on Twitter, baby. We got a live Twitter show between me and the rest of my podcast that y'all can come see us, meet us for free. For free. So hit me up. All right. And actually, I'll release more details a little bit later once we get closer to the venue. That's it. Those are my opinions. It is what it is, though. In a few weeks, nobody's going to care about all-star starters, snubs, all of that. It's just, like, hot right now at this moment. All-Star's going to be fun, man. It's here in Chicago. Y'all know we working. Me and my podcast have a live show that, like, my Chicago fans or anybody that's going to be at All-Star Weekend, it's going to be that Saturday evening before the festivities. I'll give you more details once we get closer to the actual time. But it's free. And you can come meet us, talk to us as we talk about the NBA. I know, it's beautiful, right? Anyway, it's been Kenny. I'll be back tomorrow. Peace.